again. Baby, oh. Hey, it's Wellness Wednesday. Hey, y'all. It's Wellness Wednesdays. It's Cherette from Be Healthy Now. I am out of town. And today, if you're following me, you saw that I'm going to be talking about how I got here, okay? Eating vegetables. If you guys know me and you know where I come from, I am as country as they come, okay? So I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, and every 4th of July, my uncles and grandfather would go and slaughter hogs, and we would eat the best sausage you ever had in your life. Shout out to Uncle Tommy. I'll never forget it. Fresh pork skins, like goodness. Okay, like I grew up eating meat. My family now, when I was like, I'm not eating meat, they were like, what? So I just wanted to come on and share my journey about how I got here, because I feel like a lot of times we feel like when you see people like me who's like all plant-based and like natural mama, earth lady, you're like, oh, she has it all together. And like my story's crazy, okay? Like this all started in 2012 and I'm still working on it, okay? So I just wanted to share my journey and how I got to being more plant-based. For me, I did a super slow ramp down, okay? Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna just give up dairy and meat today and never eat it again. I did, cutoffs. And it basically was that in my life, I kept seeing things, and on my journey, there were just so many things that it was like pointing to in the direction like, if you want to not die, maybe you should eat more vegetables. You know what I'm saying? So I listened, and here I am now. Let me see if this works better for me. Oh, y'all see how that natural glow on my skin just came in? All right, so that's better lighting. Perfect. So, me growing up, I was pretty heavy set. Like in high school, I remember being 220 pounds, and it was like a thing for me. Like I could never share any clothes with anybody, like not even adults. I was size 18, 20 in like high school. And I graduated from high school and went to Atlanta, and I attended Spelman University. And there I only gained a little weight, probably like a couple of pounds, but I only stayed for 6 months. Um, the atmosphere of the school just didn't resonate with me. And I am not one to linger, okay? A lot of the times I'd be like, I'm not feeling it in my soul, bye, okay? And that's what Spelman was for me. So I moved out of there and moved into my aunt's house, and I started dating a chef. I gained so much weight, because he used to cook, but he taught me how to cook a lot. Like, I make the best rice. Y'all be thinking rice is super simple, but I'm bougie and my rice is so good. And he taught me how to do that, like steaks. Like, ooh, what is it called? Surf and turf used to be my favorite. Like the steak with the shrimp on top and stuff. So he taught me a lot about cooking. And so after that relationship, I went into the state of like, in tennis, you have these lines on the court, right? So you're either on the back and you catch the ball when it's long, or you're in the front and you catch the ball when it's short. In the middle, we call that no man's land. And so after that relationship, I readily became super, comfortable in no man's land. I was pretty much drinking every day. I might have been like, I've never said this on camera. Don't judge me, judge your mama. But I was probably finishing about 3 bottles a week. When I say that, that sounds horrible. It felt horrible probably, but I was pretty numb at the time. So I was in the bar every day. So that my diet was like wings, anything. I ate anything. Like I love international food, like goat this, like pho, like everything. I ate everything. And so one day in 2012, I was walking up the stairs and literally I had nothing in my hands. Nothing. So this is what, 8 years ago. So I am 31 now. So I was 23. I was in my early 20s. That's supposed to be like the prime time of life. You're like all healthy and like you can run miles and stuff. Y'all, I walked up one flight of stairs, nothing in my hand. Only thing I was carrying was me. And I was out of breath. Like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't take it. I was at the top of the steps. Like, I was like, I'm about to die. Let me hop on the scale because at this point, I hadn't been on the scale for years. I had knew that I could not fit my size 24s, but I refused to buy any size 26, 28s. I wasn't doing it. So I was like, fuck all that. I'm going to just buy elastic things and I don't have to know my size. It's okay. I don't have to know. So I didn't weigh myself. I didn't know what size I was. And that went on for like 2 years. So 2012, I went upstairs and I almost died. And I got on the scale and I was like, holy shit. I was 350 pounds. To be specific, I was 349 pounds, 349.6 pounds. And I remember just sobbing. I was crying. I was like, I'm one cheeseburger away from dying. So I did what everyone else does. I was like, I'm going to get healthy. So I started eating chicken breast and going to work out in the gym. And, I was losing weight, but I wasn't feeling better. You know what I'm saying? Like my scale was getting lower, but my body was still like these stairs though. So I was eating like big hormone sized chicken breasts from Costco, like splitting them up and meal prepping with like chicken and rice and frozen vegetables and well, it was vegan protein then, but I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that the protein was plant-based and that's what I wanted. So I was doing like plant-based shakes in the morning and like what do you call it? It's so bougie. The eggs, when you put it in the water and it's hot and you kind of boil it. Poached eggs. I was doing poached eggs on avocado toast. I actually can do a mean poach though. Poached eggs was pretty dope at the time. Anyway, so that was like my regular thing. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what everybody would consider like, a healthier lifestyle. Like as soon as you want to lose weight, everyone's like, switch to lean meats, drink a little bit of water, eat the nasty shakes, and you'll just feel better. And I lost weight. I think I went down to about 260. But I was still inflamed. I still felt like stuff wasn't moving in my body. It's like I felt a little better because I didn't have the weight on me, but it's like my body wasn't like crazy. And during this time, it was really crazy because I probably from 350 to like 280, which is significant, y'all. That is 70 freaking pounds. You could barely tell a difference of like if I lost weight. Like you could see a little bit here, but like I was so blown up and inflamed, you could barely see it. So I was like, I didn't know what was going on. Then I got a trainer. So he was like a big buff guy in the gym and he just wanted to push me. And I kept telling him like, I can't do this. Now, there are people who are heavy, but when you get like obese, like if you're over 300 pounds, it is like a whole different lifestyle, right? Like how you sit in things, like shopping for clothes, like if you can lift your fucking leg. So if you have a trainer and you're over 300 pounds, like the average person has never felt what your body feels like that big. So there was a disconnect between me and my trainer because he just was trying to push me. And it's like, my ankles can't take this. And he was like, oh, just push through the pressure. And I knew something was wrong. So simultaneously, as I'm working out with him, I meet a guy, and he is a neuromuscular therapist. We become friends, and he just tells me, he's like, you have a great touch. You should go to massage school. And I didn't know, I was in no man's land still. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was doing in my life. Now, even when I did, and I'll say this, when I started losing weight, I was still drinking heavily. Maybe not 3 bottles a week, but probably about 1 and 2 possibles, and still at the bar. So a lot of my information, judge your mama. So I was simultaneously trying to find all the answers. This guy was like, yo, you should go to school. And this is when I was introduced to neuromuscular therapy. So in my health journey, I would tell someone that neuromuscular therapy, massage, changed my life the most. The biggest perception shift that I got from neuromuscular therapy literally is boom, boom, boom. We're not supposed to live in pain. What? Like every day you're supposed to wake up and your body actually functions. So I learned this in school. Every day I go to school and I get different stuff released. So like, for instance, your jaw. I used to have massive headaches, and I got my jaw released in neuromuscular therapy, and like my whole head opened up. Right? So now when you start opening up things, you can actually feel it, and you can feel like, oh man, my body's been asleep. So with this change in my life, I started to see the world more holistically, if you will. Like, and when I say that, when I say holistically, I mean the whole picture. Like, we like to think of holistic as natural, which in my opinion it is, but the whole picture. If you're talking about being healthy and you're talking about diet, but you're not talking about muscle release, you're not talking about a holistic point of view. If you're not talking about easing your mind and changing your mindset, that's not holistic. Okay, so that's kind of my definition. So through massage school, I started getting things released, and it really rang true to me. Okay, I'm not supposed to be living in pain. So the pain-free living really stuck with me because I really had a view of life that I just, like, pain was a part of it, right? So that started to jog my it started to jog my conscious, if you will. Still didn't really change my eating habits as much, and honestly, because I wasn't feeling that much better, I went back to eating trash. I did eat better most of the time, but I pretty much plateaued at around 260, and I was between like 260 and 280 for a long time. So fast forward to 2014, I graduated from massage school, and I got this dope ass job. My teachers wanted the job that I got. I was at a hotel. I'm not going to name it because ain't nobody sponsoring this video and I ain't getting paid. So I started working at this bomb ass hotel, started making a lot of money. And what I learned was that if your body is not in proper conditions for your muscle to release, I, as a therapist, can put pressure on all the right spots, but your body's not going to let go. So working in massage for so many years, it brought me to a broader picture of it can't just be muscle release for pain-free living. The reason being is, say for instance, your chest is tight. As a neuromuscular therapist, what I do is I'll go and release your pectoral muscles, which is the front of your chest, and I'll help you activate your back muscles. So I'm going to turn this way. So what that does is take you from this position, right? Ooh, let me let y'all see my chest now. So it takes you from this position, right? And we open up the chest here, which pops it like this, right? But in order for your back, for it to stay up, you have to strengthen your back. So you see how that goes from here, you open the chest, strengthen the back. And that's how you get that upward posture that's straight. Most of us are sitting down like this all the time, and it's really the balance and muscle is release and activate. We'll talk more about this later. It's a whole theory. I got y'all, I know. But what I learned is that in doing my theory, it didn't matter if my clients were dehydrated or inflamed. Their muscles literally were not able to release. So this sent me on a journey with food. Now, simultaneously, I'm moving downtown, right? After I got the job, I was at the job downtown. So I started hanging out downtown a lot, downtown Atlanta, for those of you on the West Coast, because I know y'all in Cali, a lot of y'all. Hopefully I'm visiting Cali soon. I kind of miss Cali, to be honest. It's like its whole world. Anyway, y'all know I be going off on tangents. So I really went off on a tangent. So I'm downtown Atlanta, and I start meeting all of these, what we call aliens. We call them AT aliens. And first, like, it was crazy. Like, my whole circle in this moment of my life became plant eaters, but not on like a natural tip. It was just like my friends ate meat, but like every time we would go out to eat, they would get veggie plates. And so it started because I would see them get veggie plates, and it's like, I'm always paying $16 for meat, and y'all get veggie plates for $9. And then I'm barely even happy with my meat because these sides be so bomb. So that was like so many of my friends, they were just getting veggie plates. So I was like, you know what? Let me get veggie plates. And that's how it all started with the food, y'all. Literally going to soul food restaurants and just getting veggie plates. Now, at this time, some of my veggie plates still had meat in them, still had dairy in them. But I saw that once I shifted into eating vegetables more out, more vegetables started coming into my home. And so I'm very, very blessed because I have a best friend who's a chef. Like, she literally went to chef school, and I can cook. If y'all didn't know, y'all know, y'all be seeing me chef it up, but I can cook. Cooking's been an interest of mine since middle school, high school. Like, I remember coming home in high school and like, what else can we do with chicken today? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a test to see if I could eat, because I just love to eat. I still love to eat, y'all. And you know, that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Like, just because I'm plant-based, like, I love to eat, and I love to eat good food. So I eat mostly everything, but my taste buds have changed significantly. Anyway, so I moved in with my best friend. She was vegetarian at the time. She still ate dairy and bacon. She only ate bacon. That was the only meat. I don't know. It's her life. So being with her, I decided, all right, I'm gonna be fake plant-based. I'm gonna be fake plant-based, and I'm gonna just eat meat only when I'm outside the house. Now, this situation provided a very interesting atmosphere and environment for me, because what it did was take meat out of my house. But now when I'm eating it outside of my house, y'all know, like, restaurants just don't cook as good as you do. Like, can't nobody lay down no chicken like you do. So I wasn't craving meat as much. Sometimes I would go 1-2 weeks without it, and it was fine. So that was a couple, I think, you know what? That was a couple months. And in 2016, in May, this was, ooh, y'all get me dates. So February is when I moved in with my best friend. And in May that same year, my biological father transcended. And that, like, it lit a fire under my ass because my father had to be like 400 plus pounds. He was a pretty big guy. And one of the things that I loved about our relationship was that he was the one person I could relate to. We both love buffets, we love to eat, we love fried chicken. And he would talk to me a lot about his struggles with food. And I would share with him a lot of my struggles with food. And really, they were the same. And so, what those conversations showed me was that a lot of what we call genetics are genetics, but they're genetically habitual, if you will. So, interesting enough, I did not grow up with my biological father. He and I got a relationship in my late teens, early 20s, but my eating habits were identical. I mean, identical. Okay, like we ate the same exact way. We both love international foods. You put some food in front of us, we were eat it. And so we were able to connect there, and it just blew my mind because he was the one person who got how I ate. I would hoard food and just eat until I was stuffed, and he got that. So when I got the call that he had transcended, it was a wake up call for me because I felt like, are you in my video? That's my friend, y'all. So I felt like I was, if I continued on the same path, on the same habitual, like, I wanted to say habitual habits, but that doesn't make sense. If I continue with the same habits, that I would one day, somebody would wake up to a call saying that I was not here anymore. And at the age of like, what was I, 26? At the age of 26, that's not a good feeling. So when he transcended, I knew it. I was like, I have to do something to change my life. And for me, it was just circling in my life so much. And I started researching food at this point. I started researching the correlation of inflammation with food, what our bodies need to thrive. Like, we literally need certain nutrients and minerals in our bodies for our bodies to work. And I had no knowledge of this prior to this. So I started researching it, and I was still eating out more. But when my father transcended, it was like, okay, if Olive, yes, the bacon was everything, Olive. It was no judgment zone. Olive, who just commented, she's the best friend who helped me be plant-based and still ate bacon. Anyway, so I knew I had to change my life, and I stopped eating meat. And the difference that I saw was amazing, but I was still eating cheese at the time. And so my face was still kind of puffy. I was still inflamed. I can't tell you when I started eating cheese, but y'all, when I started eating cheese, no lie, I probably dropped maybe only 20 pounds, but my face looked like it was 103. So if I knew now what I knew then, I would have definitely dropped dairy before I dropped meat, but everybody has their journey. But I started getting serious about yoga, meditation, swimming every day, not eating meat. And it was really important to me to bring all of these aspects into my life to be more natural because I didn't want to die. Like, it was a dire situation. Like, for the first, I think, 6 months after my father transcended, I was waking up every day at like 4:30, and it was like, I cannot die. So I can't eat meat. Like, I didn't have time to think about chicken or anything because I just felt like every time I would put fried chicken to my face, I was dying. And now it seems so extreme, but it was true. My father transcended because of these habits, and like, you just keep eating, you keep doing it. And he was at the spot where he actually was really trying to lose weight right before he passed. He had just lost 20 pounds. He was like being more conscious of how he was eating. And so now researching and coming into all this knowledge myself and seeing how it's changed my life, one of the things that I had to deal with and my father transcending was this, I guess you would call it a savior complex, but honestly, I just feel like, what if? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I knew all this information and I could help? You know, and I can't say that anyone ever will listen because you can't make anybody do anything. But I feel like when we have information that is life changing, like the information that I have on food, muscle release, you know, like different herbs, is literally life changing. I had a client once who came to me who thought they were having a heart attack, and I literally did an exercise to open up their chest, and they were fine. Never had any problems after that. Still consult your doctors because I'm not one. But it's amazing what our bodies literally need in order to release and heal. So I say all that to say this. That is why I am sharing Be Healthy Now. Be Healthy Now is literally my expression of love to the world. It is showing the world how I have saved my life in sharing my journey. I don't believe in labels because y'all just heard that story I went through, okay? I was not always plant-based, and nor do I believe that people need to go straight from whatever diet they are into straight being plant-based. Like, it's not feasible for most people. Now, if you have some chronic illness going on and you're about to die, you need to do something extreme, because if you don't, you're going to die. And that is what it is. So I do know that there's certain situations where we do need to hit the pavement running and do it now. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, there are things that we can do to integrate into our lives today, right now, that'll make us healthy right the fuck now. So that's where Be Healthy Now came for me. Is that, fuck the labels, guys. Fuck being vegan, pescatarian, fuck being on a keto diet. I believe that if it's especially melanated people in our community, if we can get closer to eating vegetables in its natural state, if we can get closer to living with more natural products, if we could get closer to just drinking more water, y'all. I was so thirsty. I needed that. If we could get closer to drinking more water and better sourcing our water, what I'm gonna get with y'all on the water. I know I keep saying this, but there's a spring that I go to, and I actually have pH strips. So I want to collect water for you guys and on camera just show you the difference of the water. So I'm gonna get that together one of these weeks when I'm back home. But I just feel like when you make these small steps to being healthy, it's really small steps to getting back to nature. Eating natural foods, void of products that aren't natural. Like, it's not natural for us to drink cow milk. It's not natural. And even if you do it, if you counterbalance it with fresh vegetables that don't have it in there, if you take butter out of your vegetables, now we have bioavailability in the vegetables. What bioavailability means is that you, TT's doing a video right now, so give me about 3 more minutes, okay? Okay, that's the situation. You can go in my bathroom. Can you take her to the potty? That would be awesome. Yeah. Thank you. She's gonna help you, Bree, okay? Excuse me, y'all. I'm on TT duty today, okay? But if we can get back to the natural states, we'll have more bioavailability in our products. So what that means is, where you have protein in something, if you have, for instance, the vitamins in spinach, if you eat the spinach within its natural state without meat or dairy, now all of the nutrients in it are bioavailable to you. It's going to be more bioavailable if it's raw, but if you cook it, you don't want to cook it down because you're cooking out all the nutrients. So it's like steps to it. And I think if we could connect more with that, the small things that we can do to just be more healthy, one recipe at a time. If you learn how to make plant-based nachos, you can eat plant-based nachos one day out of the week, and you will start to feel how different the plant-based meals feel. The reason why is because they're not going to stay in your system and it's going to come out. So I created Be Healthy Now because I wanted to create a bridge between people and my lifestyle. I feel like most people in my lifestyle are supernatural and like on some kumbaya, come over to the side. And I remember my journey. I started it in 2012, and y'all, I am still fine tuning it. I'm still trying to get rid of white flour and rice. So I ain't got it all. You know what I'm saying? But I got here because of steps, because I was willing to wake up every day and step closer to a more plant-based and more holistic life. So I just wanted to share my journey. I hope that somebody is inspired to start your journey. It doesn't have to be big. Today, you can be like, on Mondays, I'm going meatless Mondays. And that is a step right now to just be healthy right now. All right. So I just wanted to share my journey and let you guys know why I started Be Healthy Now. And yeah, I will be talking about more of my neuromuscular therapy in upcoming videos, because I do think that muscle release is a very important part of health as well. So oh, yay. Thank you for that. It's been beautiful to share my transition. And I want to say that I do appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving me. I get messages all the time. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, for tuning in on Wellness Wednesdays. I love you guys so much. I would not be able to continue my journey every day without you guys. So that is it for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you are inspired, and go do something today that makes you closer to your goal of health. Even if it's going to drink some water, it can be that simple. Just go and do it right now. All right. Just be healthy right now, y'all. Do it. All right. So I will see you guys again next week. Same time, same place. Love you guys. Peace.